You have no fans, no money. How do you promote your music? Well, I'm about to give you 10 unique ways to promote your music for free with 0 fans. What's up guys, Justin here, and I know what you're wondering. How do I promote my music? How do I get more fans? Well, it's easy if you have a label or a bunch of money that you can just throw into marketing and promotion. But what if you're broke? What then? Well, if you have a big email list of fans, then you can just send out promotional emails to all your existing fans to let them know about your new releases and maybe run contests to incentivize them to share your music with their friends. But what if you don't have an email list? What if you don't have any fans? What if you have 0 fans and you're broke? Well, if that's the case, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to give you 10 ways that you can promote your music and grow your fan base for free, even if you have 0 fans to begin with. And if you find this video helpful, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button below, and be sure to tick the bell icon to be notified as soon as future videos like this one are added to the channel. All right, so let's go ahead and get started and dive into the 10 ways to promote your music with 0 fans. First, I'm going to quickly run down the list, and then I'm going to briefly explain how you can actually implement each of these methods. But a quick caveat before we get started. I'm not here to give you a bunch of fluff and BS. I'm here to give you real practical advice that you can use to get more exposure for your music and build a following of diehard superfans. So while all these methods can be done with little or no budget, please keep in mind, of course, that as with most things, you will get results faster and easier if you have a little bit of money to put towards these methods. But all of them can be done without spending a cent, even if you're starting from scratch with no existing fan base. So here's the list: cross promotion, bloggers, influencers, playlist curators, YouTube channels and curators, YouTube's algorithm, Spotify official playlists, earn karma on Drooble, and Hot or Not. Now I'm going to explain what I mean by each of those and how you can actually implement the method for free. So one thing I know about YouTube videos like this one is that if I make this video too long, you guys are going to stop watching. So I'm going to condense a lot of information into a very short amount of time. However, if you find this video helpful and you'd like to get more detailed information on these promotion methods covered here, I do have that available for you if you click the little icon in the upper right corner of the screen or the link down in the video description below. You can get access to hours and hours and hours of in-depth music promotion training. Like right here, this is an hour-long training on how to get your music videos shared on YouTube channels by YouTube playlist curators and organically by YouTube's algorithm. Here's another hour-and-a-half training on how to promote your music and build a fan base for free, where I specifically cover a lot of the stuff here in this video. There's another free promotion strategy right here that was put together by one of our members who's building his email list of superfans completely free. And I'm not just talking about people that kind of like his music. These are superfans joining his email list every day. I'm not going to get into that here in this video. That's for members only, but there's hours of stuff like this. Like complete Spotify promotion strategy when you're ready to invest a little in growing on Spotify. This is actually a 2-part training that explains how to grow your Spotify with playlist promotion and Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, there are pros and cons to both of those methods, so it's important to understand what those are and when to use them. There's a session with the founder of Submit Hub, which we'll talk about in just a second. This is an absolute must-watch if you ever use Submit Hub. The full training is only available here in the Music Promotion Insider's dashboard. However, the majority of that session is available to watch here on YouTube, where anyone can watch it, so I'll link to that down in the video description below. And there's tons of other stuff in here too, like the secret to get new fans for free with fan swaps, which is on the topic of cross-promotion, which is the first free method we'll be covering here in this video. So what is cross-promotion? Well, it's when you collaborate in some way with another party so that you can tap into their audience and they can tap into yours. Now, this one is going to require a little bit of legwork in the beginning if you're just getting started and you don't have any fans, because you're not really bringing anything to the table that would make other artists want to collaborate or cross-promote. The best thing you can do is to start networking with other artists. Go out to their shows, become friends, or maybe spend some time hanging out with your existing friends that are also musicians. Now, if you open for another band or artist, this is a form of cross-promotion because you're getting exposure to the headliner's audience and vice versa. Featuring other artists on your tracks is a way to cross-promote. They get exposure to your audience and they'll probably promote that track to their audience as well because they're featured on it. Promote other artists on your social media and tag them, and they can do the same for you. As I said, this is a little tougher and slow going when you're just getting started, but it's doable, and you just have to network with other artists. Invite them to open for you if you book a show, and maybe they'll invite you to open for them. But this is something that you can do throughout your entire career. And as you start to build a following, it gets much, much easier because other artists are going to want to get exposure to your following. You see this all the time with rappers. They're constantly featuring other artists on their albums and in their music videos. So that's the first thing you can do to build your audience for free: network and cross-promote. Now, the next ones are a little bit easier, especially thanks to services like SubmitHub. Reach out to bloggers, influencers, and playlist curators. Now, let's start with music bloggers. These aren't as big as they once were. They used to be a great way to get exposure as an indie artist, but they don't really have the same reach that they used to. However, for music bloggers that do have a following, their recommendations can carry a lot of weight with their readers. Nowadays, social media is a big way that artists get exposure. So if you can connect with small to medium-sized influencers that like your music and get them to share it, that can be a great way to reach new listeners, not just because people are hearing your music, but because the influencer is recommending it and their recommendations will carry weight with their followers. And then you have playlist curators. Getting your music featured on popular playlists on Apple Music or Spotify is a great way to get a lot of new streams and a lot of new listeners. Now, there's more than one way to contact bloggers, influencers, and curators. In a lot of cases, their contact information may be publicly available, so you can reach out to them directly. But the fastest way to submit your music to those individuals without having to pay for placement is to use SubmitHub. All the music bloggers, influencers, and curators on that platform are incentivized to actually listen to your submissions, so you'll typically get a better response rate than when you're trying to reach out to those people on your own. Now, it's completely free to use SubmitHub. However, you are going to be pretty limited unless you use the premium credits, which you do have to pay for, but there's a way that you can get those for free, which I'll fill you in on in just a moment. Another way to get exposure for your music, specifically your music videos, is to submit them to YouTube channels and curators. It's pretty easy to do this directly, which I explain how to do in the organic YouTube growth training inside the Music Promotion Insiders members area. But you can also do this with SubmitHub as well. And while we're on the topic of YouTube, YouTube's algorithm will share your music videos for you for free as well. A good title, description, tags are all very important, and a good thumbnail will help you get free organic traffic from YouTube. We don't have a lot of time to get into detail about all of that in this video. You can learn more about that, of course, inside Music Promotion Insiders. But for now, here are some tips that'll help. First of all, there are two main things that above all else will get YouTube to share your music video with more people. There's the click-through rate and watch time of the video. So first is, how often are people clicking your video thumbnail to watch your video when it's recommended? And the second one is, how long are they watching? So a good thumbnail, it gets people's attention and looks interesting and gets them to click, is really important. But then the content also has to be relevant to that thumbnail and to the headline. Otherwise, people won't watch it for very long. So a good music video is really the most important thing to have here. But you can have the best music video in the world, but if no one ever sees it, what does it matter? So keep in mind that a good thumbnail will help improve your click-through rate, and a good video will keep people watching. And if you have a good combination there, you'll get a lot of love and free exposure from YouTube's recommendations. Also, making sure that you have the right tags, title, and description will all help YouTube better understand what your video is about and who to share it with, which will increase the likelihood that the viewer sticks around to watch. Again, we don't have time to get into all the nitty-gritty there, but that should at least give you some things to think about if you want to get more exposure for your music videos on YouTube. Another useful algorithm would be Spotify's algorithm. These days, a lot of people discover new music through Spotify's algorithmically generated playlists like Discover Weekly and Release Radar. So there are a few factors that'll help you get picked up and shared by Spotify's algorithm. Mainly, you need streams and engagement. And by engagement, I'm talking about things like playlist additions, likes, and new followers. Now, promoting your music in a way that gets a lot of engagement can be very challenging if you're on a tight budget and you have no fans. The people that are going to engage the most with your music are going to be your existing fans. That's just how it is. Now, another good way to get engagement without any fans is by using Facebook and Instagram ads correctly, the correct way, but that's not free exactly, right? The good news is that sometimes simply getting added to enough listener curated playlists can be enough to get your music added to these algorithmic playlists like Discover Weekly. So submitting your music to curators through SubmitHub in some cases can actually help you get picked up by Spotify's algorithm as well. Release Radar actually prioritizes followers, so if someone follows you, your new releases will typically show up on their Release Radar playlist. So that's one of the big benefits of getting followers on Spotify. Just something to keep in mind. All right, as far as Spotify playlists go, we've already talked about submitting your music to listener curated playlists with SubmitHub and getting your music picked up and shared on Spotify's algorithmic playlists, but there's also another type of playlist on Spotify. Spotify's manually curated official playlists. Now, these are curated by Spotify's editorial staff, and you can actually submit your tracks for free through your Spotify for Artists dashboard. These should be new tracks that you haven't uploaded to Spotify before, and you should ideally submit them a few weeks before the release date so Spotify's staff has enough time to listen to the track and potentially add it to a major playlist. All right, now we're coming to the end of the list. The next two suggestions will allow you to earn credits to promote your music without spending any money. And the first one is on a platform called Drooble, which allows you to earn karma points by performing tasks like reviewing music or sharing music, and then you can trade those karma points in for music promotion services. So if you want to go check that out, go to jammob.com/Drooble and I'll get some karma. Or if you don't want me to have any karma, that's fine. You just go to Drooble.com. And a similar concept to Drooble is SubmitHub's Hot or Not feature. As I mentioned before, there's a way that you can earn premium credits on SubmitHub for free. Well, this is it. Hot or Not allows you to earn premium credits by listening to music submitted by other artists and simply saying whether you like it or not. It's super simple, and then you can take those premium credits that you earn and use those to pay for premium submissions to playlist curators, bloggers, and influencers. So there you have it, 10 ways to promote your music for free with zero fans. There's cross-promotion, bloggers, influencers, playlist curators, YouTube channels or curators, YouTube's algorithm, Spotify's algorithm, Spotify official playlist, earn karma on Drooble, and SubmitHub's Hot or Not feature. Now, I briefly covered each one of those. I had to condense a lot of information into a very short amount of time here. So if you would like to learn more about those methods in much greater detail and get access to way more music promotion tips, tactics, and strategies, just click the little icon in the upper right corner of the screen. I'll put a link down in the video description as well. But that's gonna wrap things up for this video. If you found it helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that now and tick that bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are released here on the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.